What's going on, boys and girls? Today we're going to be making some homemade hamburger buns. You know, sometimes you don't want the store-bought buns, and you don't know what's in the store-bought buns. So I'm going to make my own. I have a problem with the store-bought, with the whatever's in it. It gives me heartburn, and it seems like when I make them myself, I don't get heartburn. So we're going to attempt this recipe, see how it comes out. Here we go. All right, it's pretty simple, guys. We got about 400 grams, and I literally measured that out with an electronic scale. 400 grams of flour, 8 grams of yeast. Again, I measured it out. This is Fleischmann's extra dry yeast. We got some sugar, got some buttermilk, got an egg, got some melted butter. There's 2 tablespoons of sugar. We got some egg beaters that we're going to use for the egg wash, and I think that's all we have right now. So let's go ahead and get this stuff proofing. First thing we're going to do is mix our milk and our yeast and sugar together. All right, we're going to start off with 1 cup of warm milk here, y'all. And this is actually buttermilk right here. Let's start off with 1 cup of that. We're going to have 2 tablespoons of our sugar. And this is the sugar in the raw. 8 grams, again, this is the yeast here. And you want to make sure it's not too hot, because you want it to be warm, but you don't want it to be hot. And I think it might be too hot for right now. So I'm going to let that cool down for just a couple of minutes before I put the yeast in there, because if it's too hot, the yeast won't activate. And with this active dry yeast, you really don't have to activate it anyway, but I'm gonna proof it anyway. All right, we let that cool down some. We're gonna go ahead and add our yeast in there. Then we're gonna add our butter, and this is 2 tablespoons of butter. And it's, melted butter. And we're gonna give this a nice little mix here. We'll get our, am I recording this? Yeah, a nice little mix. Now the sugar will activate this yeast, and you'll see it start to get nice and bubbly here. So we're going to let that sit for, just about 10 minutes or so. If you've got some other stuff to do, go ahead and get it done, but just let that sit for a few minutes, and it's going to look totally different than what it looks like now. All righty, look how well that's proofed right there, guys. Now we can add the rest of our ingredients in here. All right, we're going to add our flour in here, guys. Again, this is 400 grams of flour. Kind of mix it in a little bit at a time, and you're just going to mix it until it becomes a ball, a dough ball. We're going to use all of it, and you want to leave not some of this right here, but just from out of the bag, you want to leave some of this out, just so that you can make when you start to roll it and knead it a little bit. Let's get this flour in here. And we're going to add an egg in here as well. Make sure y'all can see there. One egg. And then we're going to add about a teaspoonful of salt. And we're just going to eyeball this right here. We're going to give this a nice little mix. And we will come back, guys. I'm not going to prolong this video. It's going to take a little while for all this stuff to come together. So while it's coming together, we'll come back in just a second. All right, once it gets into a little ball and everything comes together like this, guys, we're going to pour this off on the surface, and we're going to start kneading it a little bit more into a ball so we can cut it up, and then we're going to put it on some parchment paper, and then we're going to let these things rise. So we're going to put down a floury surface like this, just using the same flour that we had before. I'm going to pour this all out here. Just get the majority of it out. We don't want to leave any behind here. There's just not much. There's not much in there. Yeah, we're gonna get all the goodness in this bowl here out. Again, that up there. Uh-oh. There you go. Get that there. Again, we're just going to kind of get this thing nice and moving around and folding it over each other. You're not supposed to handle it very much, guys, because apparently it makes it so it doesn't rise very well if you handle it too much. Again, we want to make this into a ball. We got enough flour in there. So again, we want to form this into a ball. Just kind of pull it in here. Again, if you think it's getting too sticky, which this is not getting real sticky. And we want to be able to get six hamburgers out of this right here. 6 hamburgers. I'm gonna roll that baby up into a ball. So you want to get it I got to see how we're going to get 6 of them. I can see how you can get 8, but it'd be kind of hard to get 6, but we'll try to get 6. So we'll go this way, or we may just do 4. No, we're going to do 6 though. We're going to do 6. All right, hold on just a second. All right, we're going to cut this in half. And then we're going to do one like this. And one. I want to make sure we get them almost even here, guys. One like this. Do the same thing on the other side. Going to do one like this. And we're going to make this one match this right here. Like this. I hope I'm not cutting that. Now, they're not going to come out exactly, you know, they're not going to come out exactly the same size, I would imagine. But we want them to be close to the same size. And you can make sure that they're going to be the same size if you get the scale out and play around with it. But this is not really going to matter that much here. All right, we're going to roll these up into a ball. Each one of them into a ball. Just kind of fold these up. Fold them up into a ball. And if one of them just obviously looks, bigger than the other, you know, you may have to add a little bit from the bigger one to the small one. All right, now we're going to come back. I'm not going to sit here and show all this to you guys because you can see what I'm doing. Again, we're forming all these into balls right here. We'll be right back. All right, we got them they're almost about the same size. I took some out of the smaller ones and put them into the bigger one, or took some out of the bigger ones and put them into the smaller ones. So they're almost about the same size. This one may be a little bit smaller, but and like I said, all of them are not going to be equal unless you just weigh them, guys. And we're not that specific about these right here. So all right, so now we're going to put these on a piece of parchment paper and we're going to let them rise for about 15 minutes. All right, there you go right there. We're going to cover that up here and let these babies rise again about 15-20 minutes or so. Then we'll come back shortly. All right, guys, it's been about 15-20 minutes. Look how well those bad babies have risen. So let me tell you what I'm doing here. I've taken some of that egg white, and I add a little bit of oil to it, just a little bit of avocado oil, and we're going to use this as a wash. So it'll have a nice little glaze on it. So we'll come back once I have them nice and glazed. Alrighty guys, all I did, I had about a tablespoon of the egg whites and about a tablespoon of the oil, and I just put them on the buns just like this. We got our oven preheated to 360 degrees, and I'm using that weird temperature because I'm sure that this was a British person that made this video, and that's why they had the 400 grams. And I'm not singling out British people, but they usually do stuff in the metric system, whereas we'll kind of say put 4 cups of flour and blah blah blah. They do the grams and all that. So usually I have found that when that happens, I have to cook it a little bit longer than what they say in the recipe. But the recipe calls for 12 to 15 minutes, and you kind of want an internal temperature of about 200 degrees. So we've got it heated up to 360 degrees. Let's put it in the oven. Oh, guys and gals, are those things not beautiful? Look at them, y'all. So they stayed in there for about 15 minutes. And the little hole you see right down there is where I stuck the thermometer in there. You want them to be between 190 and 200 degrees, and these were about 207. These things, the glaze worked out perfectly on them. That looks so good. These are probably some of the best looking ones I've made right here. So I will definitely have to keep this recipe at hand, and I'll have to try it again. And I'll make a video of me having a hamburger with them. Probably have some hamburgers on Friday for my little splurge meal. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as often, hit that little like button. It really gets the videos out to other people that want to see my material. Comment on it, subscribe to the channel if you want to, and guys, y'all have a great day. Peace.